brand new reports have surfaced that the extent of Tom Holland's injuries has officially made Sony and Marvel Studios pull the plug on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Everything is being shut down and everybody is being sent home as the film will not resume production anytime soon.
Or I could be Spider-Man.
Okay, make that pitch right now to Tom Holland. You're out, you're in.
Tom Holland did a great job, though. So I don't know. Maybe they do need to make a new one for me.
There's an actor or actress, or I don't even know how this person identifies at this moment in time, that could come in and save the MCU. And that person is Last of Us star Bella Ramsey.
In The Last of Us Part 2, who the majority of the fans were like, that's not Ellie.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was.
Bella Ramsey says that they could be Spider-Man.
Tom Holland's reign as Spider-Man came crashing down in the most brutal way possible. During filming, a stunt went horribly wrong, leaving him rushed to the hospital in critical condition. What should have been a recovery period for Marvel's Golden Boy quickly spiraled into something darker, because while Holland was lying in a hospital bed, Disney made a ruthless decision. Instead of waiting, they moved fast, announcing Bella Ramsey as the new Spider-Man. Fans were stunned, headlines exploded, and the internet erupted with chaos. For Holland, it wasn't just an injury anymore. It was betrayal. His legacy, his career, and the role he built for nearly a decade were suddenly slipping away. And that's when the whispers began. Was this the end of Spider-Man, or the beginning of the Spider-Fall?
I understand she wants to play Spider-Man. She's not quite Spider-Man.
Tom Holland had pulled off hundreds of stunts as Spider-Man, but this one went horribly wrong. What was supposed to be a simple mid-air flip ended in disaster when wires snapped, sending him crashing to the ground in front of stunned crew members. Within minutes, he was rushed to the hospital, headlines already swirling that Marvel's crown jewel had been broken. For fans, the news hit like a gut punch. Holland wasn't just another Marvel actor, he was Spider-Man, the face of a hero who symbolized hope for millions. Now, with his body battered and his future uncertain, whispers began echoing through Hollywood. Could this accident mark the end of his run? Behind the scenes, Disney executives were already asking uncomfortable questions. Could Holland keep up with the physical demands of the role? Or worse, had Spider-Man itself become too risky to stake the future of the MCU on one man's body?
There's an actor or actress, or I don't even know how this person identifies at this moment in time, that could come in and save the MCU. And that person is Last of Us star Bella Ramsey. But this is the headline that went around yesterday that a lot of people are having fun with. Bella Ramsey says they could be the next Spider-Man. They also say Andrew Garfield's version is incredible and that they loved it.
While fans prayed for Holland's recovery, Disney made a move that would change everything. Instead of standing by their star, the studio announced Bella Ramsey as the future of Spider-Man. The timing was merciless. Holland hadn't even left his hospital bed when the headlines dropped. Shockwaves ripped across Hollywood. For nearly a decade, Holland had carried the weight of Spider-Man's legacy. And now, just like that, he was discarded. To insiders, it looked like desperation. To fans, it looked like betrayal. But Disney didn't back down. They pushed the narrative that Bella's casting was a bold reinvention, a fresh start for a franchise struggling to stay relevant. What they didn't realize was that this decision wasn't just a casting change. It was gasoline poured on a cultural firestorm.
You changed up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back pocket. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them, is they're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
Flat on his back in recovery, Tom Holland refused to stay quiet. In interviews and on social media, he made it clear, this wasn't just business, it was personal. I built Spider-Man for nearly 10 years, he fumed, and they threw me away the second I got hurt. Fans rallied behind him, shocked by the raw emotion in his words. Holland didn't frame Bella as just a replacement. He painted her as part of Disney's plan to erase him. He spoke of betrayal, of years of sacrifice on set, of injuries that he endured because he believed in the role. And now, all of it had been stripped away. His anger wasn't subtle. He accused Disney of using his accident as an excuse, of stabbing him in the back when he was most vulnerable. For Holland, this wasn't just about Spider-Man. It was about dignity, respect, and survival. Bella Ramsey's announcement as Spider-Man divided the world instantly. Supporters praised the choice as daring and fresh, a bold shakeup that could save a dying MCU. Critics, however, saw it as reckless chaos, a blatant insult to Holland and a betrayal of Spider-Man's legacy. The internet erupted with memes and edits. Images of Bella in Holland's Spider-Man suit flooded social feeds. Hashtags trended worldwide, with some calling her the future of Marvel and others mocking the entire idea as a desperate gimmick. Hollywood couldn't look away. Casting changes always made headlines. But this was something different. It wasn't just a red carpet joke or a rumor. It was official. And for Tom Holland, lying in a hospital bed, it was confirmation that his worst fears had come true. He had been replaced. The moment Bella Ramsey's casting went viral, the internet did what it always does. It turned everything into a war. Memes flooded timelines comparing Holland to a washed-up Spider-Man, while edits crowned Bella as the chaotic new face of the MCU. The cruelest nickname stuck fast: Old Spider-Man. For the first time, Holland wasn't being celebrated as Marvel's hero. He was being mocked as yesterday's news. Supporters of Bella mocked Holland for whining from his hospital bed, painting him as bitter and insecure. At the same time, die-hard Holland fans fought back, flooding comment sections with defenses of his legacy. The divide wasn't playful anymore, it was toxic. What stung most was how quickly years of Holland's work were reduced to hashtags. All it took was one accident, one announcement, and suddenly the actor who defined Spider-Man for a generation was trending not as a hero, but as a meme. Hollywood saw the firestorm and couldn't resist pouring gasoline on it. Entertainment outlets pivoted instantly. Bella wasn't just a casting choice, she was a cultural statement. Articles hailed her as the bold new face of progress, framing Disney's decision as visionary rather than ruthless. For Tom Holland, the spin was unbearable. From Recovery, he slammed the narrative, warning fans that Disney was using Bella as nothing more than a distraction. "This isn't storytelling," he reportedly said. "This is chaos dressed up as art." Disney executives stayed silent, letting the media storm play out on its own. And in that silence, speculation grew louder. Was Bella Ramsey truly Disney's future, or just a pawn in a desperate publicity stunt designed to keep the MCU in headlines? The internet didn't just argue, it exploded. Petitions demanding Holland remain Spider-Man gathered tens of thousands of signatures in days. On the other side, counter-movements called Bella Ramsey the MCU's savior, insisting she represented a fresh start after Marvel's string of box office flops. Twitter threads stretched for miles. TikToks racked up millions of views, and YouTube became a battleground of fan-made trailers and conspiracy videos. Spider-Man isn't a costume, one fan argued. It's a legacy, and Tom is that legacy. Another shot back. Legacies die. It's time for Bella to reinvent the role. The debate wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a cultural clash. Spider-Man wasn't just a superhero. He had become a symbol of tradition versus reinvention, loyalty versus betrayal, and at the center of it all, Tom Holland watched his role slip away. Behind the chaos, analysts began pointing out what many had suspected. Marvel was collapsing. Flop after flop had drained its once unshakable reputation, and now Disney was willing to gamble on anything that kept the brand in the spotlight. Bella Ramsey wasn't chosen out of vision, she was chosen out of desperation. Hollywood insiders whispered that Holland's accident was the perfect excuse for Disney to reboot. Casting Bella wasn't about storytelling, it was about headlines, shock value, and survival. Every article, every meme, every online argument only fueled the controversy. And controversy meant free marketing. Holland himself didn't hold back. "They've turned Spider-Man into a circus," he said bitterly, warning that the MCU wasn't innovating anymore, it was clawing at chaos to stay alive. For fans, it was a chilling reminder that the Marvel they once trusted might already be gone. For Tom Holland, losing Spider-Man wasn't just about a role. It was about survival in Hollywood. In emotional statements, he admitted he feared not just losing Peter Parker, but his entire career. "They want to erase me," he said, a chilling claim that resonated with fans who'd seen actors chewed up and spat out by Disney before. Industry insiders whispered the same. With Bella Ramsey already trending as Spider-Man's future, Holland was being quietly pushed aside. Rumors swirled of him being difficult or burned out, whispers that sounded eerily like the first steps of a studio blackball. For an actor who poured his life into the role, the idea of being replaced and branded a liability was devastating. Fans who once saw Holland as untouchable were now watching him fight for relevance in real time. the same studio that made him a household name, seemed determined to bury him. And the worst part? It was working. At first, the memes were jokes. Bella Ramsey swinging through New York, edits of her face on Holland's body, TikToks poking fun at Disney's casting chaos. But then, something terrifying happened. The memes stopped being jokes. They became the movement. Fans began pushing Bella as the real Spider-Man, using memes and viral edits as campaign tools. Disney, sensing the momentum, leaned into it. They didn't deny the rumors. They didn't defend Holland. They let the internet decide for them. And the internet chose Bella. Holland's words grew heavier. I wasn't replaced by an actor. I was replaced by a meme. In a digital age, it didn't matter what he had built on screen. It only mattered who could trend faster, louder, and longer. By now, the headlines had taken on a life of their own. Spiderfall wasn't just a hashtag, it was a reality. Tom Holland's Spider-Man wasn't celebrated as Marvel's crown jewel anymore. He was treated like a relic of a fading empire. Holland himself framed it with brutal honesty. This isn't the Spider-Man I built. This is Marvel turning its greatest hero into a circus act. His warnings echoed across interviews, podcasts, and social feeds, striking fear in fans who had once believed Marvel was invincible. The studio that gave the world Infinity War and Endgame was now being mocked, dragged, and questioned at every turn. And at the center of the collapse wasn't Thanos, wasn't Kang, wasn't a villain at all. It was Bella Ramsey in a Spider-Man suit. What began as a tragic stunt accident spiraled into Marvel's most shocking crisis. Tom Holland, broken and bitter, watched from a hospital bed as Disney replaced him with Bella Ramsey. What fans once thought was unthinkable became reality. The face of Spider-Man had changed, and the MCU would never be the same. Bella Ramsey's casting wasn't just about reinvention, it was about desperation, betrayal, and the internet's power to reshape Hollywood. Supporters hailed her as the future, critics slammed Disney as heartless, and Holland declared the era of Spider-Man had collapsed. The memes, the headlines, the outrage, they didn't just mark a casting change, they marked the fall of a legacy. A cultural icon wasn't saved, he was sacrificed. And so, with one accident, one announcement, and one ruthless decision, Spider-Man's story turned darker than ever before. Because this isn't just Tom Holland's fall, this is the Spider-Fall.